Hello, and welcome to another episode on Rising Coaches with Sofia Bernardi. I hope that you are having a magical morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, whenever you are listening to this episode, whether you are walking, driving, sitting in bed, cleaning the house, whatever it might be. They're the things that I usually do when I'm listening to a podcast episode. I hope that whatever you're doing, that you feel at peace and really well today. I am so excited for this episode because I'm going to be sharing the 3 biggest mistakes that new coaches make and how to fix them fast. So I have coached over 300 coaches over the last few years and supported them to start, to grow, and to scale their coaching business the simple, sustainable way. And in that time, I have seen a lot of the big mistakes that coaches make, and I could list many more, but we have time for 3 today. So I'm super excited to share some of the bigger ones that I see and also how you can truly fix them so that you can get out of your own way, move forwards, and actually get results. So if you are new here, hi, my name is Sofia Bernardi. I am a mindset and business coach helping ambitious female coaches to create simple, scalable businesses that feel aligned, profitable, and spacious, just like I have, and I've helped many of my clients to do the same. So today we are diving into some topics that I wish someone had told me when I first started in my business. And that is these 3 biggest mistakes that new coaches make, right? Because the truth is that growing a coaching business doesn't have to take years of trial and error if you know what to focus on and what to avoid. And I mean this with so much love and with so much seriousness, but I literally had a sales call with a beautiful lady this morning, and we had actually been in business for the same amount of time. She also started about 5.5 years ago. But the difference is that I've made over $2 million and she doesn't have any clients currently, right? And has really struggled to make any form of money in the last 5 years. And her story is not a rare one. It's actually very common. I see so many coaches stuck, struggling to grow, struggling to sign clients, and it just doesn't have to be that way. When you have the right strategy and the right systems and the right support in place, anything is possible. I'm just personally getting started, and I had no perfect circumstances when I started my business. You know, I was 22 years young. I was working 5 casual jobs at $20 an hour. I never went to college or university. I had no qualifications. I had no business experience or any clue with what I was doing. So if I can start under those circumstances, and if I can get to where I am today, then anyone can if they're willing to do what I did. And that was invest heavily in myself, show up for all of the support provided in those containers and actually action them. And I've been willing to lean in even when it's hard, even when I'm having bad days, even when things aren't going right in my personal life or my professional life. I have leaned in. And if others do that and avoid these mistakes that I'm, going to be sharing with you today, then anything's possible for you. But if you don't show up, you don't play full out, you don't lean in, you don't leverage support, you're not willing to invest in yourself, and you tell yourself these honestly crazy stories that just do not serve you, like, I will invest in myself once I'm making money. It's like, hello, if you knew how to make money, like, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. So, we tell ourselves these stories, but it's just to protect ourselves from making decisions and going all in and leaning into the full experience. But you have to start before you're ready, and you have to start before it's comfortable and before it makes logical sense. And that's how you get your business up and running. And it's just the way that it goes, and it's the way that every business goes. They all have to invest in themselves before they make even $1. Like a cafe needs the shop, it needs the staff, it needs the coffee beans, the coffee machine, the coffee cups, the food, like the cash register, the tables, the chairs, everything like needs to be paid for before you can even make $5 from a coffee. And even that, you don't even profit that much from the coffee, right? So every business invests in themselves in order to get up and running. And the same is required for you in your coaching business, if not more so, because you are the business, like you are the product. So you've got to invest in your own personal growth, but also your business growth as much as humanly possible. So I just wanted to share that was an unplanned tangent, but it's, just honestly coming from such a place of love, because I want to see coaches grow. I want to see coaches succeed. But if they're not willing to get out of their own way, get out of their comfort zone and lean into the experience that business has to offer, then nothing's going to change. Nothing changes if nothing changes. So at the end of today, I'm going to quickly share with you how you can work with me in my program, the 5K Fast Track. If you would like more details on that, just DM me the word fast at Sofia Rose Bernardi on Instagram, or message me on Facebook, wherever, you like. But nothing changes if nothing changes. So I'll chat about that a little bit more at the end. But if you want to go straight to that, just DM me the word fast. And the reason I'm going to be sharing that is because, I'm going to help you now in this podcast. And if you listen every week in the podcast, you'll know I add so much value. I give so much of my time and my love. But, the real magic is like when you're being coached powerfully and held accountable powerfully by someone every single week on calls with support, and all of the things. And that's what I offer my clients. And that's why they grow so fast, even if they've been stuck and struggling for years and years and years, because then they finally get the right strategy and support and they actually grow. With that said, let's jump in. None of that was planned. I just am very passionate when I see these ultra passionate, smart, intelligent coaches out there that have so much to give, have such a big heart, and they're just struggling so much because they can't get out of their own way. So just needed to lovingly say that for anyone that needs that gentle reminder today to go all in, and you will be rewarded. I have a strong belief that everything I invest comes back to me tenfold, and it has, and more so because of that belief. All right, mistake number 1 is trying to help everyone. The first mistake new coaches make is trying to help everyone, okay? When you try and be everything to everyone, you just end up resonating with no one. Here's the thing. The clearer you are about who you help and the specific transformation you offer, the easier it is for clients to find you and stay and say she's the one that I need, right? So that's really the goal. And the more specific you are, the better. It's kind of like, what do you value more? Like if you had a heart problem, would you go to a general doctor or would you go to a cardiologist? It's like, no, you would go to a cardiologist, right? Because you care about your heart and you're willing to pay more for that expertise and truly trusting that you're going to get the result. So, so many coaches are afraid of being too niche, of I won't be targeting that many people. It's like, which one do you think makes more money? A general GP or a cardiologist? You best believe it's a cardiologist, and they probably work less hours as well, right? So it's really important that we are niche and we don't believe that narrative that we can't grow and we can't sign clients and that we're, capping ourselves so much. Of course, it is possible to niche down way too much, but that's a very rare thing I see. Usually people are way too general, not even just general, they're actually it doesn't even make sense, their sentence. It's not even clear who they really help. So this is how you fix this. We want to get specific about a few things. Firstly, obviously, who you help, not just the demographics, but their actual struggles, desires, and values. You need to know that, and more importantly, you need to know how they articulate those things. You also need to get specific about what you help them achieve, the tangible, specific result. Think of it like you need to be able to point to the outcome. It has to be something that you can see in the flesh that you can point to. That's when you know it's tangible enough. And you also need to be specific about why your method is the best solution for them. So why is your unique process the best way to get that solution that they want and solve the problem that they have, right? So that's the first thing there. Clarity creates clients. And confusion repels them, okay? Clarity creates clients. Remember, a confused mind will never buy. So be clear, be specific, and be tangible. This is one of the first things that I work with my clients on, because if you don't get this right, then truthfully, nothing else you do in your business will work. Your strategy won't work, your offer will be unclear, and therefore no one will buy it. You'll struggle to grow your audience, you'll struggle to nurture them. Nothing will work if you don't get this right, which is why it's mistake number 1, and it's why it's one of the biggest things I personally support every single client with at a very deep level until they've nailed it, okay? Mistake number 2 is thinking that consistency alone creates clients. I hear this all the time from coaches saying, I'm so consistent, I'm doing everything. But believing that posting consistently will automatically lead to paying clients is a huge mistake. Yes, consistency is important. You would have heard me talk about consistency so many times on this podcast because yes, it is important, but it has to be the right kind of consistency, because you can post every day for a year, but if your content isn't clear, captivating, or leading to a clear next step, it's just noise and it's not a strategy. So to fix this, we want to create content that does 3 things: connects emotionally with where your dream client is right now, educates them on why they are stuck and how to how to solve, that problem that they're stuck with, and invites them clearly into the next step, whether that's to DM you a particular word or to apply with a particular link or book a call, whatever it might be, but having a clear call to action. Posting is not the goal. So many of you are like, I posted 5 times this week, or I posted 2 or 3 times, and you're ticking this off like it's some habit, and that's important in the beginning, but posting is not the goal. Just remember that. Attracting, nurturing, and converting your clients is the goal. And if your content isn't doing that yet, then you will struggle to gain engagement, interaction, and paying clients from it. And mistake number 3 is waiting to feel ready before starting, right? I spoke about this briefly in the beginning of this episode, but honestly, it's such a huge mistake. I can't even begin to tell you how much of a mistake it is, right? So if you are waiting until you feel more confident or more qualified to actually start showing up, then you're going to find it really, really difficult, because the truth is that confidence doesn't come before action. It comes from action. And I get it. When you're starting out, it can feel scary to put yourself out there and charge for your services or even call yourself a coach. I personally avoided that so much. When I first started my business, I was still working all my casual jobs. And when people asked me what I did, I never told them I was a coach. I just spoke about my other jobs, like, I work for this catering company. And my partner would have to nudge me and say, hey, tell them what you actually do though. It was so hard. So trust me when I say, I absolutely get it. And it held me back so much, that behavior and that mentality, right? So if you're waiting to feel ready, you'll just be waiting forever. So to fix this, I want you to decide today. Decide right now. Why couldn't you do that right now? We tell ourselves these stories why we can't right now, but you actually can right now, right? You already know enough. You already know something that can help someone to move forward. You get better while getting paid, right? You don't have to just keep working for free clients or just thinking about your business and not doing anything. You can actually start right now. I'm not even joking. There was nothing perfect about any of the situations when I invested in myself. In fact, I was stuck, struggling, unhappy, all of those things. And when I first started, my clients didn't hire me because I was the most qualified coach on paper. I wasn't by any means. I was 22 years old. Every client was older than me. They hired me because they felt seen, understood, and supported. People don't buy perfection. They buy connection and leadership. And that starts the moment you decide to truly back yourself. So if you're listening to this right now and thinking, okay, Sophia, I'm definitely making one or all of these mistakes, then I just want you to know that that's okay, because awareness is the first step. But now that you're aware, now that you know better, you need to do better. And if you don't do better despite knowing, honestly, that's on you. Then the situation that you are in right now is just 100% on you. But when you know that you can do better and you do better, then that's when, real results start to seep in. So the second you start getting the right support and strategy to shift your current situation, everything's going to change for you, because you don't have to waste months or years spinning your wheels like so many coaches I speak to are doing. It's so unnecessary. I can't even begin to explain. When you get the clarity, the system, and the support you need to start signing clients now, everything changes. And that's exactly what I help you do inside the 5K Fast Track. Inside this program, I walk you through everything that I know and that I've learned that got me from 0 to 5K, and honestly, well beyond that. So I walk you through getting clear on your niche, creating a no-brainer offer, creating content that actually converts, building a simple system to attract and sign dream clients consistently, and so much more. I also teach about mindset and energetics, because my goodness, is that important when you first start out, and always, to be honest. So if you're serious about growing to consistent 5K months without burning out, overthinking, or trying to figure it out all on your own, this is your next step. You can just DM me the word FAST on Instagram at Sofia Rose Bernardi, or check out the link in my show notes to get access to my Instagram account and send me that message, and I will personally send you those details over if we have the doors still open and spots still available, because I would love to support you to start and to grow your coaching business the simple, sustainable way. Only DM me though if you're committed, you're ambitious, you're willing to do the work. It's okay if you're fearful and you have no idea what you're doing, but you do need to be ready to start. That's a wrap for today, my friends. Remember, growing a coaching business isn't about being perfect. It's about being clear, taking action, and learning the simple skills that actually create results. I love you all, and I will see you next week. Bye.